economies may be struggling, but there's no shortage of companies looking for imaginative marketing methods. The latest trend is pop-up retailing, as I discovered when I checked out a cafe which yesterday was thronged with young TV fans, and today, when I got there on my bike, it's just a blank shop front. Well, here I am on my way into Soho, which is the main theatre, nightclub and restaurant area of London. And until just a few hours ago, the shop that I'm going to visit was a temporary version of Central Perk. And if you're a fan of Friends, the TV series, you'll recognize that as the cafe in the series. It's the latest example of pop-up retail here in London. Hello, Alison.
Hello there, Charles. I'm really good.
Well, thanks
really
for coming
good
out.
to see you. Yeah.
So,
thanks a lot.
Alison Stewart-Allen,
Correct.
International Marketing Partners.
Correct. Yeah.
What is pop-up retail?
Good question. Well, it's a really interesting trend, and one of the things that we're finding is that retailers are looking for a way to trial a neighborhood cost effectively. Landlords are looking for a way to fill space cost effectively as well. And very often it's just vacant space. They figure opportunistically, let it rent for a month or two to a new startup, and it creates buzz, it creates atmosphere, everybody wins.
Well, our sister company, Warner Brothers, here with Central Perk, which the cafe in Friends. I mean, how does that work? What are they doing there? Just creating a bit of a presence, if you like, here on the ground here?
Absolutely. And basically, if you are a retailer and you're trying to find, well, where can we go and where can we check out a neighborhood, and there's a space that's been vacant for a while, why not use it? Why not approach the landlord? And if you're the landlord, you think, gosh, this is fantastic. It creates, excitement in the area. So it's totally opportunistic. It's transient. It's totally short term. It's maybe a month. And at the end of that month, sometimes that brand moves to another destination, goes away altogether. That retailer may just be completely temporary, and you'll never see them again. So there's all sorts of iterations.
It's obviously kind of a recession phenomenon, therefore,
yes,
isn't it? Do you think it will continue once, one day when the economy starts to go upwards again?
Well, it's a really good question. I mean, one of the things we know is that pop-up retail's been around since at least 2003. We know they also call it guerrilla retailing. Comme des Garçons is a brand that's tried this in Berlin in 2004. Grosvenor Estates have been doing it for some time. In fact, there's a great story about Azzaro, the luxury brand. They took a pop-up store in prime Mayfair area, and on the back of that, they've now taken a bona fide store where they're paying full rents. They're getting the footfall that they want, and Grosvenor are happy, Azzaro is happy, so there's a lot of benefits that come out of these things.
Well, Alison, you've told me everything I need to know about pop-up retail in just a couple of minutes.
Great.
So I'm going to get on my bike and back to the office.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, Charles.
Well, pop-up retail seems like a brilliant way of working with the grain of the recession, if you like. A great way of getting a quick marketing message out there or putting a toe in the water as far as a particular area is concerned. But obviously, there still has to be that question mark. If there isn't that cheap retail space available, will this phenomenon outlive the recession?
Charles, I just think I'm still marvelling at the fact that you can ride and talk to a camera at the same time. That is totally beyond me, and I'm sure it always will be. But just coming back to this whole thing about sort of the pop-up retailing, whatever, I take it that there's more than just one sort of new trend, marketing trend emerging in these straitened times?
Yes, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, Alison Stewart-Allen there, I think, was talking to a large extent also about people who just put a toe in the water, they open a shop, see if it works. And we were looking at these pictures of young fans who are able to use this, the Central Perk, the cafe, that they much admire from the Friends TV series. But no, I think there are an almost a lot. She mentioned this is called guerrilla marketing. You've also got viral marketing, and I think the staid old ways whereby there are basically about three forms of marketing are long behind us, and people are being so creative about this sort of thing, and seeing this idea of just being completely temporary, of being there, being here today and gone tomorrow, as being a really good way of having a quick impact, getting the publicity, but not having, if you like, the discipline of having to sustain that. You can get away from that and go and concentrate somewhere else if that hasn't worked. I think this is, it's a very good idea. It probably wouldn't suit, for example, landlords in the longer term once the recession is over, because they'll be wanting tenants who will sign long, long leases. So, you know, it really is a question as to whether it's going to outlive the phenomenon of just all of this cheap, empty space that we're seeing in big cities like London, Andrew.